at a ski and go win. It's who can ride. And that's what I like. You know, I hate going to no offense, I love Charleston, West Virginia, the site, but I despise it because it is the most glass water conditions ever. And I don't like it. You know, I want surf. I want head high, you know, surf. This is small right now, and it's really rough, everyone said during practice. But you all know, you've done it longer than I have. It'll be rough by about 2 o'clock. You know, like
that's for. Do you change your mental approach in the surf as far as how aggressive you are?
Oh, for sure. You know, like even watching some of the guys out there today, you know, they got a lot of new skis out here, the new GP1, a lot of younger guys on them, and they have all this power and not a lot of weight to it now. And they come out of a corner, and you can see them grab a handful, and then 10 feet later they're swimming.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because you realize that it's not the fastest ski around the track that's going to win. It's the smartest rider. So it's riding a little bit wider around the buoys, giving yourself that extra little bit of room. Even if someone's behind you, give yourself a little bit of room. And then, like you said, ride conservative on the throttle. And in the end, your lap times are going to be way faster than if you were trying to pin it the whole time. So you got to go fast enough to stay on top of it all, because like as rough as it is this morning, it's just like a washing machine. So you want to stay up on top. But it's not just going wide open. So it's really a battle of just the finger, you know, like if you can conserve your right finger the best, you're going to do good.
A battle of the finger. Well, there you go. Now that's some insight right there, professional insight from one of the best in the world. And man, it's great to have you here in Pensacola Beach. Really good to see you personally, and for both Kurt and I know that. And we're going to miss you out there today, dude.
No, I'm nobody, man. Like seriously, like I'm nobody. If it wasn't
stop with that.
No.
Just stop with that. Jimmy Wilson, can I tell you, I have been in my prayers, and in our family we do pray, not only for your wife's safety, but for you to find the sponsor that can bring you out here this year and let you reclaim that. And I'm not giving up on it. This is only the first round.
Oh, no. You know, Sam Nemi and Tim Judge, like I could be racing right now today. I just physically am not there, you know. And like I said, it's not everything. I want to have fun. And being here with my little guy, we went to the pool yesterday twice and went out to eat with everybody. And he's down here playing sandcastles with Jan right now. And, you know, that's what it's about. You know, I miss having my family, my mom and dad and my wife. But, you know, I get to do that all week with my wife and, you know, the little guy. So I'm seriously a nobody in this sport. Like, you know, I enjoy it and I have fun. But, like, it's not me, it's the team, you know, that makes me. You know, I'm serious when I say that. It's not me. Like Sam Nemi, Tim Judge, you know, Brooks at ADA, the McKennas, those guys, they're the ones that deserve it.
Every single one of those people would argue with you and say, hey, we're just doing our job. You're the pilot. You're the one that is making us look good, Jimmy.
I can promise
you're a
you.
humble man, but,
No,
you know, I'm here to tell you, they all think it's you, believe me.
I appreciate it, but seriously, last year, you know, like, I mean, we grabbed the majority of the hole shots on a two-stroke, beating the four-stroke, and, you know, that says a lot, you know. Anybody can go in a straight line and grab a hole shot, but, you know, those guys made it work. You know, Tim Judge built the power, and, you know, the McKennas and Haggis helped me figure out the handling and make it, you know, stick to the water. So, you know, we're
it takes a village.
Yeah, it's a team, you know, and so, but besides me, like, honestly, everyone needs to watch out for little Sammy Nemi this weekend.
Oh, no doubt.
You know, obviously we got Tyron out here, which is going to be really tough, and
it's going to be interesting.
Warner, it's his. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's his title to lose now.
Swan song.
So hopefully he can get it together this year. I think he's going to have a hard-fought battle, that's for sure. So, So I'm not going to lie. It's going to be nice to sit down here and watch it and not have to worry about it.
We might drag you up here for a little commentary.
Yeah, I'd love to. So definitely watch out for Sammy, though. Him and even Jules Hopkins. Jules has got a new ski, and I know Jules and Richuk have been doing a lot down in Alabama. Is it Alabama where Jules is? Yeah. So I know they've been doing a lot, so those two will be good. And, you know, if Richuk's been good, but like I talked to him, you know, he keeps his head on his shoulders and rides a little bit smarter, you know, like you've said several times.
Youthful enthusiasm.
Yeah. It's not that he's doing anything wrong. I was the same spot, you know.
Yeah, great talented rider.
Oh, yeah,
exceptionally talented rider,
so,
no question.
If, you know, those guys, if they get a start and just ride smart, it's on like Donkey Kong. Like,
Rick,
it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
You know what I'm hearing? Jimmy Wilson's turning into a mentor. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm old, man. I turned 30 last month. It's over.
Dude, I'm so much more than twice your age. Just get out of here with that.
I'm just retiring on top. It's easy, you know? Go out like a bandit.
All right. Well, I'm in denial about all that. I'm looking forward to seeing you on a boat at Daytona.
Thank you, guys.
Such a pleasure seeing you. Great talking with you, and looking forward to, obviously, Daytona. Thank you so much.
All right. See you tomorrow. Bring Christine by so we can say hi. All right. Looks like we got final practice out there, Rick Lake. We're going to get our scoring staff together, I believe.
Yeah, we got our IROC boats on the water finishing up practice, and then we are ready to begin round number 1 of the 2019 Pro Watercross National Tour. Wow, we are back here.
Presented by Broward Motorsports, and since you said that, let's go down it.
Well,
let's talk. Oh, we haven't even talked about Jet. You know Frank over at Jet Trim,
I know
right?
Frank at Jet Trim
Okay.
took over for Gary, and I got to say, Gary would be so proud of what Frank has done with that proud company that Gary started years ago in Mentone, California, and has built that up. And we lost Gary a few years ago, a good friend to everybody in the sport, one of the true great people I've ever worked with and had a pleasure have a friend in the sport would be Gary Hart. And Frank has taken the reins and really has done an amazing job. He's got Dean Morton there doing a lot of custom work, who's just a magician with seats and mats. And Jet Trim is just on top of their game now.
You know what they are? Bitchin' stitching.
They sure are.
But listen to this, Rick, and this just happened. I didn't get an opportunity to let you know that Frank at Jet Trim, they're our official seat cover and mat of the tour.
Right.
You know, pads for the tour. But they are funding the Sean Compton Initiative. And what the Sean Compton Initiative is we have at every one of the Pro Watercross stops, whether it's a recreational tour and one of the other promoters that works underneath the Pro Watercross family, or whether it's us here on the tour, every single one is going to have a defibrillator on site with all staff trained on how to use it, so that if we ever get into a situation, doesn't have to be a racer, anybody in the pits, we've got a spectator that has a heart attack and needs to be revived, will have the right equipment. Okay, we're talking about Maverick.
That's awesome.
Have the right equipment, no CPR. We encourage everybody out there, if you have the ability to take a CPR class, things have changed. I've been through 3 or 4 of them in the course of my life, but boy, they've gotten better and better at what to do to save someone's life.
Yeah.
And really, God, wouldn't you like to have that knowledge?
Yeah, the knowledge and technology have improved immensely, and it's so good to have Jet Trim making that happen with this Sean Compton initiative. Really impressive. And one final word, Dean over there, I'm tall, you're tall. If you're a taller rider on a runabout and you'd like to be a little more comfortable on your ski, talk to them. I've seen Dean create some tall seat kits that are amazing, that will be dialed in just for you personally, and they are very talented at that. And for tall riders, that's something that a lot of people don't realize. These skis in stock form can be a little cramped for those with long legs.
Well, not only that, but in competition, Rick, I know that we had special custom seats built 5 inches taller, so you can put more of your inner leg against the machine and hold on to it. Some of these things are vicious out there.
Makes a big difference.
And it's almost unrideable without that.
Once you ride with it, you're like, oh my God, how to ever do this? But yeah, so talk to Jet Trim if you want to do that. Get your ski a little more dialed in. The seat work they do is mind-boggling. So we'll talk more about Jet Trim throughout the season.
I want to jump over and talk. We want to thank Chris from VP Corporate for setting us up with VP Racing Fuels. They're sponsoring the tour this year. We're going to have we have contingency money for a couple of classes. We'll get into that later. But they are going to supply fuel at every event. That means guys don't have to carry, 50 gallons of fuel, hundreds of miles in their rig.
Yeah.
VP will bring it there. All you got to do is pre-order it. I was talking to Derek Powell. He was talking to me about different fuels and what he's using. He was thrilled to hear the VP was going to be here.
Yeah.
Just to say, up there now in the pits is Johnny from Workman's Diesel Service Center. He's got the VP trailer up there. He's got fuel for sale if you want it. He's not going to be here all day. So if you want to get racing fuel, head on up there. Go talk to Johnny. He'll take care of you.
Yeah, VP Fuels, they've been a part of personal watercraft racing forever, and so it's really good to have them on board this season on the tour. And then we've got the DTV Shredder, and that's a whole nother ball of wax right there. And I don't know, man, that thing looks radical.
It looks awesome. AJ and I were talking. We're going to be riding it this weekend. We've already had a few people out on it. If you see that DTV Shredder and you think that's something you want for your area, because it is, you know what it is? It's a motorized skateboard. As far as how you transfer weight, that's how it turns. Incredible engineering in this thing, and it goes over everything. It'll head out into that water, come right back up.
Yeah, they're amazing.
You can go on the pavement with it.
Super cool.
You can tow with it, so you can tow your ski trailer in, on the beach with it.
Very trick.
If you want one, you can purchase one from Pro Watercross at a discount at a great deal. And go see AJ. He'll put you on the thing, teach you how to ride it, and let you go.
Really super, super trick. Got to check them out. And then WSM Performance Parts, new sponsor this year on the Pro Watercross Tour.
Have you met Harry from WSM Parts?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I've dealt with Harry over the years for 20 years, and this is a guy that just decided that there needed to be a better source of parts, a little bit less expensive in some cases, and he built this business. Now he's got Terry here. Young man is going to come up on the tower with us, get to see some racing. They are one of the premier importers of all kinds of, not just personal watercraft, but outboard parts as well. Pistons, rings, gaskets, you name it, they got it.
And we've got Alert GPS. Tony's here this weekend, and they are going to be a sponsor all season long. And we talked with Tony a little bit earlier and found out what that's all about. It's pretty impressive, and it's a very modern, high-tech way to protect really your personal watercraft from theft.
I was just going to say, yes, absolutely. But if you had, let's say, $60,000, $70,000 invested in your watercraft, your trailer, your tools, your truck, and you've got all that stuff locked up and parked behind a hotel, wouldn't you like to get a text message that says, hey, somebody just bumped it, somebody's trying to remove it, your truck is moving right now and it shouldn't be.
And you're not moving. Yeah, so you have a little module that you put on your ski, your motorcycle, your trailer, your truck, whatever it may be. And then, of course, there's an app. There's a technology.
There's an app for that.
There's an app for that, and it alerts you if there's, like as you just said, if it's moved, if there's something wrong, you're going to know about it immediately. And it is pretty slick.
Yeah, we can go over the features and benefits of that thing like all day long. Yep. Literally, that's so much available.
It's endless. But
and really, we appreciate the sponsorship, the money. But I'm telling you, the real boon is for all the racers down here and their teams. If you've got an expensive vehicle, why wouldn't you put one of these things on it to protect it?
It's legit. I mean, it's something you probably want to have for your watercraft, for your tow vehicle, whatever it may be. Very, very cool. You need to check it out. And I think you'll be very impressed when you do.
We were.
Yeah, totally. Watcon.com.
Oh, yeah.
What do you know about Watcon.com?
Well, you and I know Randy Youngworth, the original Watcon.com.
Right.
But let's see. They're out of Wisconsin now instead of being back in
California.
In Oregon. No,
Oregon. Okay,
yeah, Randy was up in Oregon. And it's Rock County Jet Ski is the physical location. It's watcon.com for parts online. But if you live in Wisconsin, you want high-performance jet ski parts, go see Rock County Jet Ski, or just go online at watcon.com.
Really have a whole line of parts and accessories. Whatever you need, check it out, watcon.com. And Slippery Wetsuits is on board as the official rubber of the 2019 Pro Watercross National Tour. And, boy, we go way back with Slippery and my relationship with Jim Gallagher there, who runs that show now and has for quite some time, along with Thor and Holman Racing. Really cool to have them on board with Slippery Wetsuits as the official wetsuit of the Pro Watercross National Tour. And one thing I want to mention real quick with Slippery, we'll talk about it later, is if you're a big guy, if you're a tall guy, they have sizes of wetsuits that fit me. I'm 6'6", and they fit. They really are nice. So a lot of tall guys out there, bigger guys out there that ride, have trouble sometimes finding a wetsuit and gear that really fits. And Slippery will dial you in on that. I guarantee 100%.
You got to try it.
Yep, absolutely.
I'd almost bet you could order it through Broward Motorsports too. If you
I would imagine they're good stuff and good people, and you got to check them out. We're going to talk about all these sponsors throughout the series, but we are getting ready to get ready here, I think.
Yeah, we need to get our scoring staff down. Scoring staff, come on down. We need all our water staff down here. We're going to start racing.
We need to get everybody in place. Then we are going to do the national anthem here in just a couple of minutes, and then we will get ready to go racing. We need everybody in place, our scorers. We need our, looks like our course marshals are on the water. We do need our scorers on the and flagmen on the tower. So SUP-CROSS is going to be up first today. We are about ready to go racing. Flag Believe we need chairs for our scorers. No. No, that tower is going to be right there. That's about as far out as it's going today. Unless you want to go for a swim, Doreen. You might. We'll watch for sharks. Right. Wow. 2019 Pro Watercross National Tour about ready to kick off the season here. Exciting times in Pensacola Beach. I see an American flag making its way to the tower. Brought to us by an American hero, A.J. Handler. A true American hero. I'm not kidding about that. And A.J.'s on his way up. We're going to get the flag in place, and then we will have the playing of the national anthem, and then we're going racing. Our scorers are making their way out to the scoring tower, flagging tower, where they will spend the afternoon. Can't give them enough credit. That's not an easy job sitting out there all day long in the sun like that and trying to make sure that they get an accurate count on all these boats whizzing by constantly all day long. So kudos to our scorers. It's a thankless job, and they do a great job at it.
If I can get your attention, please, we're going to say a prayer real quick. Also, just before the national anthem, we will take a moment of silence for Sean Compton and Johnny Smith's dad. All right, Lord, thank you for this beautiful day. May every athlete be at their peak performance. Also, please bless the event and keeping our racers safe. Thank you, and amen. The national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I have everybody please rise? Gentlemen, take your hats off. And as we get ready for the national anthem, just want to make a quick mention. We lost two of our dear friends of the sport recently. Sean Compton passed away at an event, not long ago, a few weeks ago, and everyone is completely heartbroken about that. Sean's wife is here working this weekend again with us, as she has. His son and daughter will be racing today, so our hearts are warm that they're here and still part of the national tour, but we dearly miss Sean. Just a great gentleman and such a huge supporter and passionate enthusiast of personal watercraft racing, as well as sport racer Johnny Smith's father recently passed away, and I know that's a big loss for the entire personal watercraft racing family, and we're heartbroken over that as well, and condolences to everyone from both families. All right, thank you.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, that Whitney Houston gets me every single time. National anthem. Which one?
Oh, we are having a good time already up here on the tower. We hope you are down on the beach and around the world on the World Wide Web, brought to you by Richard Ignacio and his amazing streaming abilities. We are able to broadcast the 2019 Pro Watercross National Tour presented by Broward Motorsports around the globe, Kurt. It's pretty amazing, huh?
You know what? I'll tell you, it is crazy because I watch racing all the time. And Richard, when we're not busy here, will assist other organizations, or he has, with the blessing of A.J. Handler, of course, of Pro Watercross. And what a difference. I mean, it is amazing the difference when Richard Ignacio was doing the live streaming over anyone else. It really and truly is.
Well, it's a lot of fun being able to bring this to watercraft racing enthusiasts throughout the world. And it's kind of amazing where the whole thing has gone technology-wise that we're able to do this. So welcome in all over. Glad to have you with us again this year. It's going to be a great season of racing. We're getting ready to kick things off. Our first event this year is going to be SUP-CROSS racing, which is a new discipline. It's kind of a wide-open endurance course designed for the big, fast runabouts. And we're going to see them in action first thing here today, Kurt.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be our first SUP-CROSS race that we're announcing here. Not that you and I haven't done that with endurance racing before, but man, right out here in front of you, everybody on the beach. As I look down the beach, there's thousands of people going to be able to see this. I don't know if they can see it on the live stream, if Richard has a beach cam going, but I know that there's one that Pensacola's got a beach cam you can just tune into. And as I look up and see the humidity level increasing slightly, don't say it. Don't say it.
I like the way you put that, humidity level.
Exactly.
Oh, you have a future in weather forecasting. You would make a great weatherman.
Thank you. As would you, but it's all positive news, right?
Namaste.
Well, let's talk about the positives as our scores are getting onto the tower. Our flagman's heading up there. Fantastic. Get everybody going. SUP-CROSS is going to be out first on the number 96 machine, the Yamaha mounted out of Key Largo, Florida. He is sponsored by Jet Ski of Miami, Yamaha. And as you look down here, you can't miss it. Chi-Chi's ZA Performance, Jorge Movajon.
Number 225 out of West Palm Beach, Florida, on the Yamaha. Right for Hamilton's Croft Enterprises, Broward Motorsports of Tequestra, Dean's Team, and Spine Eyewear. That is Dean Harrison.
On the number 243 out of Loganville, Georgia, Yamaha mounted, 38 years old. He is sponsored by Yamaha, Fly Racing, Riva Motorsports, and Scat Track. It's Dennis Mack.
Number 808 out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Riding for Riva Racing, Champion Power Sports, Fly Racing, Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, and HydroTurf on the Yamaha, Graham Hunt.
All right, we've only have 4 riders. It's going to be exciting to watch the very first SUP-CROSS in Pro Watercross history. And I'm thinking this thing is going to gain momentum as the other riders see how much fun these guys are having. Another opportunity to get out there, get on the water, tune your stuff in. And as I see Jimmy Wilson carrying a bucket of water for his son. You got to love that.
And if you want to get out there and race and you're kind of new to the whole thing, great race to enter into. You don't have a lot of buoy turns to make. You can just go wide open on that runabout you got and have a good time out there and get involved in the racing here on the tour. And we'd love to have you. Yeah, absolutely.
And you get to learn.
Well, to set the stage for everybody not here watching on the World Wide Web, we are facing out into the Gulf here in Pensacola, and the wind is picking up right now. We've got it feels good. It's a nice breeze coming off the ocean. The waves are starting to pick up a little bit, and we're ready to go racing, and we know that weather is coming this direction.
So just want to let the competitors know you can have 4 holders. It is a Le Mans start. So they're going to run to the boats, Rick. So not only have you got to be in shape when you're riding the boat, you got to be your best sprinter to get on that boat first.
Yeah, you don't want to blow out a hamstring on the run to the start. That's for sure, and it can happen. Trust me.
Yes, it can. Stretch first, please.
Yeah. Warm up a little here. This is going to be fun to see. A new form of racing on the tour here in 2019, SUP-CROSS. Basically a big, gigantic course, ideally suited for these big, very, very fast runabouts. And as we mentioned, you mentioned 4 holders, especially in conditions like this. You really need it. This is a tough place to hold a boat, a little treacherous, being right there with these waves breaking right in front of them.
You and I have both been holders for decades, and in these conditions, you need 4 holders for the holder's safety, not for the riders.
No, exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, these boats, believe me, I've broken many toes when these things land on it, and you can.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is treacherous holding these boats in conditions like this with these waves breaking, and 4 is just enough to keep some level of control and sanity out there, barely.
I love this. I'm watching Dean Harrison down on the outside. They're putting their boat in. The waves are coming. He just pushes it out and lets it come back to him. That's experience.
Little knowledge right there.
Exactly. Hits a button, just goes away. Don't get beat up. Don't hesitate, Rick. Accelerate.
That's it, baby. Accelerate. Keep that.
We got Captain Jack up here with us.
Finger pinned. As Jimmy Wilson said, it's all about the finger.
Yeah.
You know, and
completely different finger than the one you use with me.
Oh, already, huh?
Whatever.
The season hasn't even started, and we're already.
It's all about sign language.
Sinking to new.
It's all about sign language.
New lows.
We've been much lower than that before. Don't
see. Yeah, we have. I see Harrison. We got.
Dennis Mack's out there.
Dennis Mack
on the 243.
He's standing there. Harrison's right next to him. In 96, getting set. Jorge Movajon?
In a Hispanic, a V is pronounced like a B, and a J is a J. So maybe Movajon or
Movajon. I like that. Movajon.
Potato.
We'll go with that until we get corrected.
And the 808, Graham Hunt.
And look at these guys trying to get this thing set now. This is going to be challenging.
Oh, look at the wave coming in. Holders, get ready.
Hang on, guys. Hang on.
Oh, this is going to be a great day, Rick Lake.
The waves are really picking up here in Pensacola. The storm that's out over the Gulf of Mexico definitely heading this way. And wind is picking up, and we will see how things go here today. But we are ready, waiting for the start of our first SUP-CROSS race of 2019.
For those of you that are watching online, this is the only class that's going to have a Le Mans start. Le Mans start meaning running to the boat, jump on, put in your lanyard, fire it up, and go, baby, go.
All right, our race director, Flagger's getting everybody set. Here comes another couple of waves in that they're going to deal with. Robert Sand down there ready to go. Riders are lined up on the beach.
Make sure to run to the correct craft. I see one over there doesn't have a rider behind it.
All right, here we go. They're lined up. Le Mans start. First time in pro watercross racing that we are going to do a Le Mans start SUP-CROSS. 4 riders in this one. We think this is going to pick up steam as the season goes on. Here we go. They are, not easy getting out to those boats. 96. Jorge looks like he got Got a little premature acceleration there. Jorge out in
No, Graham
a
Hunt.
shot. Is that Dennis Mack?
That's Graham Hunt on the 808.
It looks like Jorge Movajon out of Key Largo riding for Jet Ski of Miami with a great start. Let's check them out as they head out around that long first turn. No, I think that's Hunt.
Now, I believe you got it correct. Hunt's in second position, followed by, I believe.
Yeah, that is Jorge out in front on the gas. Now, these guys are going to be riding these runabouts. These are 300 horsepower craft, wide open here in Pensacola. Battle for second right now. 808 on the outside. That's Graham Hunt. And he swings a little wide on that left-hander, heading back out along the Pensacola Beach Pier and out towards the outside part of the race course in these choppy, rough conditions. It is rough out there, Kurt Nolenberg.
Oh, yes, it is, and it's going to get rougher. I could not be happier for the first round. Look at the battle we got going. First, second, third, fourth, all within one buoy in the Supercourse.
Wow.
I thought they'd stretch out right away, but not at all. Dennis Mack out there. I'll tell you what.
Wow.
If I were a betting man, I would not bet against Dennis Mack.
Jorge looking so good out in front. Jorge Movajon out of Key Largo hanging on to the lead, riding for that Jet Ski Miami crew. And they came on the scene last year and have quite a presence here now on
there
the
it
tour.
is. Dennis Mack
that
making a
Mack?
move on Harrison. Harrison getting it back.
Oh.
Harrison's holding it. Oh, Mack almost landed on him.
What a battle. Supercourse right out of the gate here, featuring tremendous action on the race course as they come back in towards the beach, battling for the lead in this first ever event. Jorge Movajon now with his hands full. He's got pressure. Look
Dennis
at this
Mack.
race. Dean Harrison, 225.
Harrison swinging wide. Mack going tight. Harrison keeping the throttle on. You can tell that he has got some skill in the surf. Harrison just making all the right moves right now.
Kurt Mack goes on the inside. Harrison swings wide. Keeps the momentum. It's Mack and Harrison in second.
They're side by side.
And they are putting the, look at this battle, three-way battle for the lead right now.
I got to tell you, Harrison, he's leaving the door open on the inside, but that's a wise decision in this surf. You can get knocked into a buoy, and that's it. You're done.
Jorge Movajon out in front, right down the front straightaway. Boat number 96 out of Key Largo, our race leader on the Yamaha. In fact, all of our riders are on Yamahas in this Supercourse race.
Only the top four.
Only the top four, that's it. Everybody else is on something else. Boy, Jorge out in front, not making mistakes. Just a tremendous battle behind him for second place.
Ooh, Harrison caught some. He just leapt forward, almost on the back of Jorge's boat. Now he's going to try and swing wide. Look out, Harrison is on the move. Jorge, Dean Harrison has you in his sights, and he is on a mission. Look at Harrison. He's going to go inside.
And Harrison goes too far inside and gets caught by a wave down the front straightaway. Bad mistake by Harrison on this lap.
Boy, I tell you what, you got to take chances. He almost ate one of the steel starting bars.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Woo-hoo!
You want to stay outside. Yeah, outside of that.
Who said surf racing couldn't be the most exciting thing you've ever seen?
And here we go.
Dennis Mack making a move on Jorge.
Mack putting the pressure on our race leader, Jorge Movajon, out in front. The two are battling on those Yamahas right now, 1 and 2. With Harrison coming behind in third, charging again.
Jorge's looking over the wrong shoulder. He doesn't know Mack's coming at warp speed. Dennis Mack on the attack.
And Mack gets a good line on the inside, some good water, but Jorge continues to keep that same line, and Harrison moves back up into contention with Mack one more time as they head out on the back part of the race course here in Pensacola Beach.
Oh, man, if the rest of the day is going to be anything like this, I'm going to be having to sign by the third moto, I'm telling you.
Oh, here we go. A pass for the lead.
Side by side, Mack.
Mack, and Jorge gets turned around, loses his drive. Dennis Mack goes into the lead.
Oh, Jorge's excited, let's say. I was going to use another word, but it's too early in the...
and he's swapping hard.
Sideways. He's going to go around, catch that boy. Not even sure about that in SUP-CROSS, but we'll
Dennis
find
Mack.
out. Mack out front with Harrison behind. And you know, as I was saying earlier, Dennis Mack, he's got a lot of horsepower and he's got a lot of savvy. He's using it, staying wide, and as you saw, Jorge just caught a little bit of that sponson, turned him around, and boy, he's back in third position.
Yeah, you know, Mack kept the pressure on him the entire race from the get-go, and Jorge was brilliant until he finally was forced into a mistake and swapped out on the back part of this course. These are rough racing conditions, and these guys are flying out there on these runabouts, and Mack right there to take advantage, and now he pulls away.
Yeah, no question about it. Now, I'm just going to say it right now. In closed course, those posts for the start are out there quite a distance. People are going to have to be very careful when they come back in because the waves can push them in.
I agree. Dennis Mack, our race leader out of Loganville, Georgia, on the Yamaha, riding for Yamaha, Fly Racing, Riva Motorsports, and Scat Track, and he is really starting to pull out now in front, Kurt.
No question about it. I'll tell you what, Dean Harrison is no slouch. He is he's not right there with them now, but he's got a lot of knowledge. He's got the ability to hang out. He's in West Palm Beach, so he's riding the surf. He knows what to do.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, saw some great pictures of, I believe, him in Daytona Beach. 16 feet in the air. I cannot wait to get there next week.
You and me both. Dean, as you said, out of West Palm Beach, riding for Hamilton's, Croft Enterprises, Broward Motorsports at Tequestra, Dean's team, and Spine Eyewear, and he's holding down a solid second place right now behind Dennis Mack. And this is a bit of an endurance race, this SUP-CROSS, wide open around this wide, kind of a tri-oval almost.
Yeah, I was just going to say a modified oval.
Kind of a tri-oval, sort of.
Yeah.
What's the NASCAR track that's a tri-oval, like Darlington?
Yeah, like all of them. No offense to anyone that we love our NASCAR.
And they're good at turning left.
Yes, they are. Oh, man.
So
Dennis Mack catching up to Jorge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Our early race leader, now about to get lapped by Dennis Mack. Jorge really charged hard.
Oh, man.
Those first few laps.
Well, you know, that's what they say. You try and get out front and then let everybody else try and catch you. Unfortunately, Jorge had that slight bobble over here, missed the buoy, had to come back, and I'm not sure if he and Mack actually touched out there, or if it was just the water pressure.
It was close. It looked like from here.
Yeah, I didn't see quite. You know, as announcers, we see it from a different perspective up here. The boat shift super hard the way it is when you get bumped. So I think it was water just pushing him over.
I would agree. I think that's exactly what happened. But yeah, you think this is just going to be a thing where you're out there circling around, racing around, but there's a lot of action taking place here in this SUP-CROSS race early on.
It's exciting, I'll tell you what.
And I look forward to the day when we see a full gate out here in this SUP-CROSS race, because I think this is something a lot of people are going to go, hey, I could do that.
No question. No question. And by the way, spectators who are down here on the beach, you got a personal watercraft at home, you like what you see out here, there's a class for everybody. So if you'd like to get it, come on down. Oh, here we go. Dennis Mack got some company. Oh, excuse me. That's Graham Hunt. And the leaders are going to be lapping. Here comes Hunt and Mack. Mack and Harrison. Harrison got in front of Mack. Now Mack takes it back. Those two almost collided right here in front of us. halfway down, halfway to go, Rick.
Yeah, Harrison has methodically worked his way up behind Mac at the halfway point. Mac kind of pulled out a lead over Harrison for a while there. Now Harrison back in it, in contention, putting the pressure on Mac.
Well, and he is certainly putting the pressure on, too. Look at the speed. That boat is just launching out of the water. I do not know what kind of pump he's got in there, but it is working well.
Well, these guys are flying around this racetrack. I mean, it is rough out there. It is extremely rough out there right now, and getting rougher as the winds are going to surely continue to pick up throughout the afternoon.
I got to tell you, Dean Harrison is making some great moves. I mean, really good decisions. He had that bad decision coming across the start. That cost him. He was in the lead at that point. Dennis Mack gets in front of him. Harrison tracks him down, gets in front, and Mack takes it over. I'll tell you what, Dennis Mack is a man on a mission right now.
Yeah, he is. When you're flying out there, too, in difference to for Harrison, I mean, he, is charging, and things happen. You get tossed around a little bit. You can get nailed by a rogue little bump or wave. At the speeds these guys are going, it can happen in a blink of an eye, and he's done an awesome job of working his way back up and keeping the pressure on Mack here.
Boy, look at that. Dennis Mack is now lapping Jorge, and here comes Dean Harrison trying to do the same. Mack really starting to stretch out the lead.
You know, that far turn out there when they at the apex out there when they make that left, they seem to have a lot of troubles out there right in that spot consistently. That's where Jorge swapped out originally on the early part of the race while he was in the lead. And you watch these guys making that turn out there. It is really, really challenging.
Can you imagine if you're riding a motocross bike, you're going straight down the whoop section, all of a sudden you've got hundreds of pounds of pressure from your right side, and it makes you turn, and then you're riding that way and you get 100 pounds of pressure again to make that turn again. That's what these guys are dealing with out there.
And Jorge has come in, Kurt. He's come in to the pits. We don't know what has happened, if he's had enough or boat troubles. It's hard to say. He looks absolutely exhausted.
Gassed.
Yes. Yeah, he looks like he's toast. He may have been injured in one of those violent swaps. The G-forces on these racers when they encounter that, as you were saying a moment ago, you're getting pressure from both sides, and some of the violent turns these big runabouts take can really, really put a hurt on the body.
Yeah, and you don't have to have an impact with another boat in these conditions.
Not at all.
Well, I tell you what, I've chipped teeth on a runabout. No, I'm just, in the San Francisco Bay, we go out through the Golden Gate Bridge, and there's a place called the Potato Patch here with 6 to 12 foot inconsistent waves. It's like a washing machine, and I came out of there one year with just bloody, and there was nothing but me not paying attention.
Well, while we talk about that, the battle rages right now with Mack and Harrison. I mean, these guys have been going at it the entire race, and they are just full throttle around this wide open super course.
Well, Mack now, he's stretching out a lead, no question. So we see one of our riders. Whoa! Yeah,
they're coming up behind Hunt to put
Hunt's
him down a lap, and Mack looks over his shoulder. Harrison not too far off the pace.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Dean Harrison is well within striking distance in these conditions. One little bobble, that's all it takes. Launching.
Oh, he gets some air.
Oh, yes, he did. Launching skyward in the wrong place. That's all one wave, and that could take it over.
Yeah, he is getting air out there. As you said earlier today, his pump is hooking up, and he is just really launching off those waves.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Harrison, Mack is out front. He's the man right now, but Harrison seems to have the ability to reel him in.
Yeah.
That boat is dialed.
It's amazing
for these conditions.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Kurt. He is charging right now behind Mack as he needs to stay on the inside. There he goes down his front straightaway and not get in too close, because it seems like when they get in a little too close, the waves are breaking right to their left on them and pushing them in, and they're getting offline to make that left-hand turn.
Exactly right. It's the hydraulic force of the wave coming. You cannot beat that. You've got to have the nose of your boat pretty much pointed almost kitty corner when you make this turn towards the outside to allow the waves to push you back in and set you up for this left at the end of the front straightaway.
That force is real when you're out there and combat that momentum pushing you like that.
Yep, well, Dennis Mack knows that, as does Dean Harris.
They're doing a nice job. One of the great riders on a runabout over the years I've seen handle those conditions superbly has been Chris McCluggage. Really, really good at dealing with these types of conditions on the inside of these straightaways and overcoming that, making good judgments. Those guys, some of them, Dustin Farthing, McCluggage, they are really adept at dealing with these conditions, and you can see what we're talking about. It brings me back in my mind's eye some of the great races from the past of those guys handling these waves, breaking on the inside and dealing with them and setting themselves up, as you said, for that left-hand turn.
Yeah, and I'd agree with you 100%. McCluggage, I'd just call it spectacular.
Yeah, really talented.
Whoa.
SUP-CROSS winding down right now. Dennis Mack and Dean Harrison continuing to battle. This racing, not for the faint of heart out here. This is, believe us, this is very tough racing. And it can extract a toll on your body. You are taking a beating out there for a very long time.
Yeah, I just want to point out, no swimmers in the water, please. Definitely no swimmers in the water, because it takes nanoseconds for one of these powerful machines. If the rider loses control, that thing can come on the beach in seconds. So
absolutely right.
Please keep your children out of the water over here in front of the race course.
Always.
We're going to call up
Dennis Mack one more time. Now stretching it out. Kurt, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, Pro-Am Ski GP, you guys should be getting ready. The Pro Show. Yes, sir. I think we have we've got different locations.
I believe the junior skis are up next.
Yeah, everybody better tie up your easy ups. We already had one flip. We are watching the weather, and if you don't secure your stuff now, it's going to go rolling down the beach, and it could really seriously injure someone. The winds are going to get even stronger than they are now, so please, for your own safety, tie down those easy ups, and if you can't do that, well then get rid of the tops.
Yeah, this is going to continue to pick up. We do know thunderstorms are headed this way, so please start to prepare. So inevitably,
I love that.
The weather arrives, and we're going to keep an eye on everything. We're going to keep racing, and white flag out. 1 lap to go for our race leader, Dennis Mack, as he has now pulled out a big lead on the final lap over a very hard charging Dean Harrison.
Is it disrespectful to call him D-Mac Attack? Compared to the GOAT, of course.
And here we... Junior ski stock up next. Junior ski stock to the starting line. And the checkered flag comes out. Number 243 out of Loganville, Georgia, on the Yamaha, riding for Fly Racing, Riva Motorsports, Scat Track, and Yamaha. Dennis Mack takes the first ever win in SUP-CROSS racing here on the 2019 Pro Watercross Tour. Congratulations to Dennis and to all of our racers here this morning or today in this inaugural event. Now we will turn our attention to traditional close course racing, and we're going to bring the kids up first. This is going to be the stand-ups, junior ski stock 10-12 and junior ski stock 13 to 15-year-olds. So what we have here is the future of personal watercraft racing that we always talk about.
All right, Rick Lake, we got Robert Sands up here, our race director.
Good to have Robert on board this season. Long time, race director, tuning guru, could build a mean 550. I know that. He's built about 2 million of them in his day and still does today. And been involved with the sport for as long as I can remember, going back to my BC racing days, Long Beach Marine Stadium. Some good racing back then, huh? Oh, good to have everybody here in Pensacola Beach for the opening round of the 2019 Pro Watercross National Tour presented by Broward Motorsports. And we are going to see the kids up next, which is always exciting, Kurt.
David Cabrera, got to ask you, what kind of fashion accessory is that you're wearing? Yeah, that is it. You got to lift it up a little, brother. You're showing.
All right, let's take a look down to the starting line. Junior ski stock 10 to 12-year-olds. Boat number 18 out of Rutherford, North Carolina. Riding for B&N Power Sports, powered by Prayer on the Yamaha, 11 years old, Tegan Hill.
On the number 53 Yamaha to Fairhope, Alaska, 10 years old, Yamaha mounted, Gary Holbein.
Number 59 out of Denver, North Carolina, riding for Champion Power Sports and Fly Racing, 10 years old on the Kawasaki, Caden Baldwin.
On the 901 Kawasaki out of Pembroke, Florida, 11 years old, sponsored by Broward Motorsports, Tristan Ayala.
And in a separate class, in the 13 to 15-year-old class, we've got one rider, number 10, out of Harvard, Illinois, riding on the Yamaha, riding for AFX Helmets, Hammer Time Sports. And mom and dad, that is 13-year-old Dustin Voss.
Dustin Voss, I was looking at him. He's parked up near there. He's got that 53 CBD trailer.
What is that? I didn't mention that. Yeah. I wasn't sure what that was.
So what CBD is a compound that is in the hemp plant as well as the straight through marijuana plant. But since they've changed the laws for hemp now, they can draw that stuff out. Oh, right.
Oh, rough start. There. Those guys hit each other and both held on and continued going. Are you kidding me right now?
All the weight's underneath them for sure.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I watched the start, and holy cow, look at these youngsters get out in those tough conditions.
Yeah, this
is going to be tough. This is a battle. These are mostly 10 and 11-year-olds, one 13-year-old, and wow, rough conditions.
These kids are Cub Scouts, okay?
901, Tristan Ayala out of Pembroke, Florida, riding for Broward Motorsports with the race lead right now. 11 years old, Tristan on the gas out in front.
I'll tell you what, I was watching him in practice because he's kind of new to the group. I hadn't seen him on the water before. He's obviously been practicing for a 10 or 11-year-old. Come on now.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, look at these conditions. This is tough stuff right here. These are gnarly, gnarly conditions here that these kids are racing on these stand-ups.
Yeah, battle is really now for second and third behind him.
53 in second is Gary Holbein.
Yeah, out of Alaska. Oh, and
number
he's gonna
10
get past.
charging. That's Dustin Voss on the inside, the 13-year-old. Of course, he's really in a race of his own out there, let's face it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dustin Voss would love to catch up to Tegan Hill, but Tegan Hill, I don't know if he's going to let him do it.
Tegan, Tristan, let's see, we got a couple new names. Actually, these are some new riders this year.
I love the
in
riders.
This class. It's pretty exciting seeing these kids come up and handle these watercraft as adeptly as they do. I'm amazed by it. I just think it's so cool to see the talent level at this age. Pretty impressive, to say the least. This is tough stuff right here.
There is no question. At 10 years old, I don't think either you or I had been on motorcycles yet. I think you were still trying to stay in the lines when you were using crayons.
I was rocking the Stingray, dude, at 10.
Got to be a Schwinn, though, right?
I was rocking the Stingray.
You had to have the Schwinn.
I wanted an orange crate, but you know, I wasn't at that finance level.
Nah, who could afford one of those?
Number 10 out in front now. That is Dustin Voss, our 13-year-old rider.
White flag
he's
out.
kind of taking the lead. Takes the white flag. 1 to go for Dustin. But 901, the leader in the 10 to 12-year-old class, Tristan Ayala, ride an amazing race from the get-go, right out of the gate. Tristan on the Broward Motorsports ski is looking really good. That's a Kawasaki he's on. And he is 11 years old out of Pembroke, Florida. So, yeah, as Kurt was saying, not many of us were doing this when we were 10, 11 years old. And it is amazing to watch these youth and the talent they have. Of course, the kids that we were watching, Sammy Nemi and the Skellets, they have moved up in the world.
I cannot wait to see Sammy Nemi out there in Pro Ski GP. And you know what?
They are amazing. We watched them last year in conditions that were grueling, and they were impressive.
Well, they're up next. So our Pro-Am Ski GP, we need you to the line. This is the final trip through for our juniors. So Pro-Am Ski GP, get your holders, get your helmets, and let's get racing.
Oh, I can't wait for this. I can't wait to see this race. I've been waiting since November to see this race, so this is going to be a good one right here.
All right, we got 11 riders.
Checkered flag comes out for Dustin Voss. He takes the win. The 13-year-olds, 15, and then 901. Congratulations to Tristan Ayala, Pembroke, Florida, Broward Motorsports takes the win. I'm assuming this is his first race. I am not sure of that, but I'm guessing it probably is.
Sammy Nemi. Is that Tristan's first race?
Can't hear. The wind's blowing too little too strong here right now. Second race.
All right. Second one. First official race.
First surf race.
Surf race.
Got it. Wow, he looks good.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy.
He must be working with Jimmy Wilson down there because he looked great out there. I know who it was. I can't remember. Those two kids that collided off the start, and they just kept going. They didn't fall down. I mean, when do you see that? What's that? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down? Bamboo Millies.
I know where you're going to be at 3 o'clock.
Hooters Bikini Contest. We got to get this racing done by 3.
Well, you've got experience there.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, yeah. Yeah, here we go. We're going to look out down to the starting line as our Pro-Am Ski GP riders make their way to the starting grid. And who do we got, Kurt?
Well, we're going to start out the number 0 out of Miami, Florida. Kawasaki mounted, 34 years old. He is sponsored by Harry Kiwi Studio, EJ Vizo.
Boat number 2 out of Dallas, Georgia, on the factory Kawasaki, riding for Troy Lee Designs, Works H2O Design, Pro Watercraft Racing, Scat Track, and HydroTurf. It is Craig Warner, and as you said, he is looking to put the hammer down today, Kurt.
I cannot wait to see this first moto, just for everybody. But Warner, he's had a couple tough years. We'll see what happens here.
Yep.
On the number 12, Kawasaki out of St. Cloud, Florida. 20 years old, sponsored by Liquid Wrench, Cabrera Motorsports, and Blosian, Isaiah Washington.
Boat number 13 out of Davie, Florida, on the Broward Motorsports, Judge Motorsports, Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, Exotic Signs, Shoei Helmets, and Works Performance, K1, in 13 years old, in the Pro-Am Ski GP class, Sammy Niemi.
And on a number 13 as well, with an X behind it, Jose Huispele out of Pompano Beach, Florida. Kawasaki mounted, 25 years old. He's sponsored by the Filet Racing Team and Miami Jet Ski Shop.
Number 15 out of High Point, North Carolina, riding for Superior Auto House, Performance Jet Ski and Cycle, Amsoil, Fly Racing, Hurricane Racing, STB Racing, JC Racing, and Works H2O Design, the 18-year-old Charger, Matthew Richuk.
Yeah, keep an eye on Richuk. He is determined this year. On the 2, ZA K1 Commander Machine out of Mpimpangi, South Africa, by way of Lake Havasu. Riding for Commander Industries and Jet Pilot, Tyron Matsouras.
Epignani.
Thank you.
44 out of, much easier, Syracuse, Indiana, riding for Speed Racing, Bullet Racing, Z-Force Racing, Ultimate Watercraft Performance, Synergy, RV Transport, and Watercross of Texas, Ignite Fuel sponsored on the Kawasaki, Derek Powell.
On the number 51, out of Miramar, Florida, Kawasaki mounted, 51 years old, sponsored by Cabrera Motorsports, Broward Motorsports, Tim Miller Racing, Exotic Signs, Hamilton's JC Racing, Tim Judge Motorsports, and Watercross of Texas, David Cabrera.
Boat number 85 out of Biloxi, Mississippi. 22 years old, riding for Performance Jet Ski and Cycle, HRT Racing, Commander Industries, Fly Racing, 100%, and Hamilton's on the K1. That is Jules Hopkins.
All right, rounding out our field out of Port Charlotte, Florida. K1 mounted as well, 14 years old, sponsored by Weight Shape and Performance, Action Kawasaki, Abaco Glasses, Commander Industries, and Broward Motorsports. On the 296, it's Hayden Skellett, and that's the lineup. Pro-Am Ski GP, Rick Lake, let's make it happen.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this one since the season ended in Naples last November. And this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. We're missing Jimmy Wilson this week. He says he's going to join us next week in Daytona. Can't wait to see him out there defending his national championship. But right now, it's all about the top pro ski riders. And keep an eye on that K1 ridden by Matsouras, Tyron Matsouras. He has been charging real hard lately. Had a good showing in Huntington Beach a couple of weeks ago in the surf there. So he's a rider to keep an eye on. Obviously, Craig Warner, the young guys, Richuk, Jules Hopkins, and then Sammy Niemi. 13 years old. What's he going to look like? out here in this ski GP class. I know one thing, he's going to look pretty fast.
Well, I'll tell you what, the riders, the holders, everybody's getting buffeted around by the waves coming in.
EJ Viso with a problem down there.
Well, he was in the wrong location on the line. Boy, I'll tell you what, please, guys, figure it out way before you get down there on the line.
Yeah.
You know, we need that. Somebody can get hurt here. We want to get these boats in the water, line them up, and get them gone. Two holders for sure.
And Cabrera just went down right there. Very treacherous conditions on the starting line. We need to get this thing started. These guys can only take it for so long getting beat down there.
All right, and here's where decision making starts. If the wave's coming right at you, do you hit it or do you let it roll over and take off?
There we go on the inside.
There's Warner and there's Hopkins. Warner and Hopkins, first two out of the gate. 2019 Ski GP, and Jules Hopkins looks like he's got a drive on the outside, but Warner is holding in the water. Warner getting the hole shot.
Craig Warner, boat number 2, the factory Kawasaki rider on the SXR 1500, takes the early lead, and he is charging. He loves these conditions.
There
the
goes
rougher it is, the better for Craig.
Sorry, there goes Hopkins. Looks like that might be Nemi there. Jules Hopkins, I'll tell you what, we're used to seeing him on a sport boat. This boy can ride a stand-up.
That is Hopkins, 85, in second place behind Warner. But look at Craig Warner on the factory Kawasaki make the turn, headed down the front straightaway. He is on the gas here, Kurt.
I'll tell you what, his one-man cheering section, Juan Rod, is going off down there on the beach.
Number 12, Isaiah Washington now moves. Oh, carnage in the front straightaway.
Whoa.
Isaiah Washington moves into second. 44, Derek Powell inherits third now. And here comes Tyron Matsouras, boat number 2, in fourth place. Matsouras on that K1. He is charging.
I'll tell you what, Craig Warner knows that Matsouras is here.
Oh, yeah.
He knows he got out front. He's going to do everything he can. He put maximum energy these first few laps. He's got to get a lead because Matsouras, let's face it, he's on some equipment that is spectacular, and we know he can ride the surf, as you saw in Huntington Beach.
I tell you what, right now, Warner on that factory Kawasaki SXR 1500 four-stroke is really impressive. This is the fastest we've seen him in a couple of years.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's worked really, really hard in building that boat up from a stalker when he first showed up here a couple of years ago. And he says, this is the year. I am not backing off for anything. I want to show my son what determination can do, and he is out there leading this race right now. But look out, Craig Warner. There's 3 riders right behind you. Derek Powell, longtime front runner. 12,
Isaiah Washington in second, followed by Powell. And then here comes Matsouras in fourth right now, but he's got his work cut out for him. Treacherous race conditions here in Pensacola Beach today, and these guys are riding. Oh, Warner goes down. Warner down in the back straightaway. He is down. He is back up, but he has lost some valuable positions to Isaiah. Isaiah Washington goes down, and Powell goes by Washington into second. Here comes Matsouras. Matsouras may have his sights set on that third place position held by Washington as they make the turn coming onto the inside part of the racetrack.
I'll tell you what, it's exciting. Washington going wide, trying to set up and get back by Matsouras. Wasn't able to do it there. Craig Warner, as he makes a turn, if he looks over, he's going to see the competition right there. If there's any extra he's got, use it now.
Well, Warner doing a great job out in front, but there is no question. Here comes Matsouras. Matsouras is on the gas now, goes by Washington, goes by Powell in second place, and it is going to be Warner and Matsouras with a knockdown, drag-out battle for this win.
No question. Here's the thing that I'm seeing, Rick, and I'm sure you're probably hearing it and seeing it as well. Warner comes out of the water. That thing is pegging the red limiter instantly. With Mats, it's a deeper throat. It's like he's not turning the RPMs. He's got that. I believe he's running the
turbo?
Turbo boat, yeah.
I believe that's the turbo. I'm not sure about that. We'll have to check, but it probably is. The one thing to note, though, is Warner went down.
Yeah.
That really sucks a lot of energy out of you.
No question.
And you really can't afford much of that when you're battling with guys like Tyron Matsouras here. Warner now is going to have the pressure on him. He knows he's there, no question about it. This is a great race, ladies and gentlemen. Two of the top ski racers in the world going at it here in Pensacola Beach, round number 1 of the 2019 Broward Motorsports presented Pro Watercross National Tour.
I'll tell you what, we've got two great surf riders out front. Here comes the third, Derek Powell. Powell out of Indiana. You wouldn't think you'd see much surf there. Powell's been doing this a long time, and I'll tell you what, he is excited as he could be about this boat. He says, Kurt, this is good. Daytona will be better. Wait till the third round. He's got some stuff up his sleeve. Powell now in a good position. Those two are battling in front of him. He can just sit there and watch them, save some energy, conserve his body fuel while those two beat themselves up. Powell not in a bad spot.
Powell been racing for many, many years, 43 years old, out of Indiana, as you mentioned, Kurt. But out in front, Matsouras started to catch Warner. Matsouras dropped back just a little bit on the back part of the racetrack. Now starting to regain his form as Warner gets beat a little bit on that left-hander. But these guys are going at it. This is a grueling, grueling race right now.
No question. Warner down into the tray on his knees back there in that left-hander. Final lap. Left rider in the way. Warner out front, but here comes Mats. Tyron Matsouras trying to get that boat to take hold. He is right behind Warner. Lapper in the way. Let's see what happens. Matsouras reeling him in. Brick Lake, these two are going crazy out there.
Yeah, they're going at it tooth and nail right now, Kurt. Warner trying to hold off the charge of Tyron Matsouras. Warner on the factory Kawasaki. Matsouras on the Commander K1 as they head onto the back straightaway. It's rough out there. Warner bobbling, Matsouras bobbling. Look at them battle side by side. Here comes Mats on the outside. Wow, what a terrific battle here.
I got to think Mats has got a taller pitch prop because he doesn't seem to lose it when he comes out of the water in the same way that Warner's boat does. Doesn't really matter. We've only got a few buoys to go, but look at Matsouras doing everything he can. Oh, and Warner hits the water.
And so does Matsouras. They're both down.
Who's going to start
They're side
first?
by side. They're both down.
Warner gets up first.
Oh, it's going to be Warner. Mats goes back around. I don't know that he should have done that.
Oh, Warner looks back, sees Mats there. Gives the sign of the cross as he makes the turn. Folks, put your hands together. Your Moto 1 winner, Greg Warner.
The factory Kawasaki rider hangs on, gets up first. Matsouras takes a well-deserved second.
Wow.
Powell comes in third. What a battle.
Woo!
What a way to kick off the season, huh?
I may need that defibrillator up here later on. Yeah.
Don't say that.
For those of you down there watching this race, by applause and yelling so we can hear you, how many enjoyed that race?
Yeah, here we go. Pensacola's digging it. That's some good racing right there. You're not going to see much better than that in Pro Watercross.
Oh, I'm not saying that's true. We got a lot more races coming up.
Pro Runabout GP to the starting line. Pro-Am Runabout GP. Now this gets real psycho if you haven't seen these guys. These guys are a little bit off mentally that race these. They're just a little titch off. You know, these boats are 300 horsepower and in conditions, I mean, trust me, these guys, they got some issues in some cases. So we are going to see them get after it here. And
they're super crazy.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. In a nice way.
Oh, in the most respectful way possible because I'm up here. I'm much more comfortable up here than down there with those guys.
So I'm thinking we ought to call them out. Oh, and Jules Hopkins got back on the track as he comes around. Wow, welcome to Pro GP, Jules Hopkins.
Welcome to the jungle.
All right, Pro-Am Runabout GP on the number 96 machine out of Key Largo, Florida. Yamaha sponsored, 44 years old. Riding for Jet Ski of Miami. Yamaha, Chichi, ZA Performance, Jorge Mobeon.
And we will see if he has recovered from the injury he sustained possibly during SUP-CROSS. Not sure he's going to make the grid here
to start
this one. Boat number 110 out of Bradenton, Florida. riding for Snyder Built, Judge Motorsports, and Dean's team on the Yamaha, Troy, the Slugger Snyder.
On the 243 Yamaha, you saw him in SUP-CROSS, 38 years old, out of Loganville, Georgia. Sponsored by Yamaha, Fly Racing, Riva Motorsports, and Scat Track, D-Mac, Dennis Mack.
Number 247 out of Groveland, Florida, riding for Dean's team, Oztech, Blacktip, and the Watercraft Superstore on the Yamaha, Dylan Osborne.
Out of Denver, North Carolina, Yamaha mounted on a number 502 machine, 40 years old, sponsored by Champion Power Sports and Jet Trim, multi-time champion, Brian Baldwin.
And to round out the field, boat number 777 out of Miami, Florida, riding for Jet Tribe, Miami Jet Ski and Hamilton's, that is Juan Lescano.
That's the lineup, Pro-Am Runabout GP. They are going to line up. We are locked, cocked, and ready to rock.
Well, let's face it, Baldwin, we know, is going to have a monster he's going to be on.
No question.
The question is, Snyder, what's he racing right now? What's he on? And is it going to be a GP boat that's going to be able to, you know, manage the power that Baldwin's going to have?
Or does he want it in these surf conditions?
Good point. Absolutely.
I got one word I want to tell you. TJ.
Yep.
Tim Judge.
Well, and then you got Dennis Mack, who put in a great ride earlier. And by the way, everybody out here is on a Yamaha in this race. It's funny how things have turned. That Yamaha platform has just become the platform for racing right now. Seems
over the last
everywhere.
few years, yeah, I was going to say.
Really, come on, the new...
nothing new this year. They came out with another spectacular...
The FCRs,
craft.
the new ones, and the GP 1800s, they just have nailed it and have become the weapon of choice for pro watercross racing.
If you were out there racing in these conditions, which one of those would you want, the FCR or the GP 1300?
From what I know, I would say the FCR.
Yeah.
I think the hull is a bigger boat designed to handle rougher conditions. The GP is a little bit more of a thoroughbred, closed course designed monster, but you know, really it comes down to the rider. In the right hands, either one is fully capable of winning.
Like we said all morning, and we'll say for the next couple of days, the surf is the great equalizer. It comes down to rider skill rather than pure horsepower.
But it's always nice to have the fastest boat on the water.
Doesn't hurt to get the whole shot, tell you that. But in the surf more so than in flat water conditions, it's not as critical.
I had a motorcycle, a two-stroke old vintage CZ built. Harry Clem built the motor for me, and I rode it, and I was like, oh my God, you know, I could just pass people at will. And I came in, I told Harry, I said, this is just amazing. He goes, yeah, this racing's a lot more fun when you have a fast bike. You know, and it just is. It's just right. You've done it. You know what it's like.
Yeah, no question. It's a lot more fun. I mean, and interesting that Baldwin going with 3 holders. Everybody else with 4.
All right, here we go. Flagging it right from the water with Course Marshal Randy. Starts not nearly as critical in this as you would have in flat water closed course, but still critical.
Well, somebody jetted out from the middle of the pack, did the right thing, rolled over that wave, then accelerated. He didn't hit the air, and he's got the whole shot. Is that Jim Bennett out there?
I believe it is. Trying to get
no, he's not in this race. Who
no, trying to get a number on that leader. Well, I believe that's Snyder, isn't it? 110?
Is it? Is it a 110?
Looks like it. They're out there quite a ways. It's a big race course. Even with binoculars. Okay, that is Troy Snyder. Snyder with the hole shot. And I dare say, guess who's behind him?
Yeah, Brian Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
Troy Snyder making that hard turn, wise decision.
And then Dennis Mack hanging on to third right now behind those 2 leaders. Snyder and Baldwin going at it. And these 2 guys are crazy. I mean, they are certifiable. They get it on these big runabouts. And look at Mack. Mack right with
there,
them,
man,
keeping
right
the power
there.
on.
And I'll tell you what, as always, jet ski in Miami, there's Juan Lescano back in that
good
4th
rider
spot with Dylan Osborne right behind him. The top riders all within 2 or 3 buoys of each other.
Look at that back straightaway. Look at these big runabouts go. And I think Baldwin's got a little HP right there.
He
coming
does.
down that back straightaway.
But he's got to keep it hooked up, and that's where Troy Snyder, no offense to Brian Baldwin, but Snyder's been doing this since Brian was still in diapers.
Yeah, I think Snyder's been doing this right after the earth cooled.
I love that. Thank you. Troy's still out front, but here's Baldwin.
Taking on. Baldwin going big.
He's going ballistic.
Remember what I said earlier about these guys being a little off? Yeah. Look at them. They are animals on these watercraft. And Baldwin and Snyder, no strangers to each other.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Those two are really great friends.
They just love racing with each other.
Yes, they do. Wouldn't be fun if you couldn't beat the other one.
I wonder if Baldwin's trying his vocal techniques on Snyder out there.
Move over. Troy's
I doubt it.
Calling right back. No, thank you, sir.
I think he's got a little message for him.
Once again, hand signals.
Yeah, one finger salute going on right there. I'll tell you what, these guys are going at it, man. Look at this race again. Pro Ski GP, we had a tremendous battle. Pro-Am Runabout GP, the same thing. The top three, look at them battle in these waves. The surface picking up, the wind's picking up, and right now Troy Snyder hanging on to that lead. Woohoo!
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Snyder there almost lost it, almost went inside that buoy. He was trying to hold close and keep Baldwin behind him, and it almost cost him. Snyder, boy, he is running on the ragged edge right now.
Very much so.
He's doing everything he can to keep Brian Baldwin behind him. He knows if Baldwin gets in front, it is very difficult to pass Brian
And you know
Baldwin.
what else? I am really impressed by Dennis Mack.
Yeah.
Check out Dennis Mack in third. He is hanging right with those guys.
I'll tell you what, David Bamdas, real happy he's got Dennis Mack on his team. He is putting on a show back there in third.
Wow.
He's got a great spot. He's one buoy back.
Yeah,
Any problem between those two, he's right there.
He is impressive. Put on an impressive ride here in Moto number
look
one.
At Baldwin, man. Baldwin's climbing up on the waves, using him as a berm to accelerate away from him. Here he goes. Oh.
That inside turn he just made right there was sweet.
Oh, Snyder.
And I think that was a GP 1800 attribute, being able to make that inside hard
super
turn.
Tight corner.
And
oh, airborne.
Here they go, back out. What conditions. This is awesome, ladies and gentlemen. We are watching some awesome personal watercraft racing right now in the Pro Watercross Tour.
I'll tell you what, D-Mac, what a job he's doing.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, he's been good last year, but he's playing with the big boys now, and he is right there.
And they are almost side by side now. Baldwin really closed that gap on Snyder. Goes to the inside. Snyder's got the inside coming around the right-hander.
Oh,
pushes Baldwin wide. Here comes Baldwin.
Troy,
and look at Mac. Here comes Mac on him.
Oh, it's side by side again. Troy, who's going to do it?
Oh,
he pushes it
wide. He goes wide. He goes so wide. And here comes
D-Mac.
Oh, they both missed.
Takes
they
over.
both missed the turn. Dennis Mac goes into the lead. White flag comes out. 1 lap to go.
He's as competitive announcing it's gotta be.
Are you kidding me?
And look at Snyder gets by Baldwin again. Baldwin sitting down, dejected, as D-Mac takes over. Where's Jennifer Illing? Is she even on the planet?
Oh, my.
She's got to be jumping up and down for joy.
Dennis Mac has ridden the absolutely perfect strategic race.
Perfect. Save the energy.
Stayed
right
with
out
them.
front. Who called that?
Waiting for a mistake, and boom.
I'm just saying, who called that, Rick Lake?
I know. I don't want to take all the credit. Oh, wow. God, Kurt. Wow.
Folks, as he comes into shore, assuming he can make these next few buoys, let's give an amazing round of applause for Moto 1 winner, Dennis Mac.
Wow, look at this guy. What a race he put on. Charge stayed with him.
Let's hear it, folks.
Dennis Mac took the SUP-CROSS victory, comes back here in Pro-Am GP runabout to take the win. Snyder is going to take second. Not going to be happy with that. And he went a little far pushing Baldwin out.
But look how happy he's going to be. Excuse me. Baldwin went off. I don't know what happened. But he's finishing last.
Oh, and Osborne goes big. Wow.
Spectacular.
Oh, and Baldwin is not real pleased.
Dylan Osborne, great job.
Well, Snyder, it's safe to say, Snyder and Osborne have reacquainted themselves with each other after a long winter off.
You mean Baldwin and Snyder?
Baldwin and Snyder.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of got reacquainted out there.
Yes, they did. And Dennis Mack?
And I think there's some words being exchanged, perhaps, with Course Marshal Randy getting in the middle of it.
I heard that. Hey, good job, Troy. Hey, not bad, Brian. I like the way you ride.
Good racing, buddy.
I love this job.
Wow, are we having fun or what?
We are, and you know what? We're having that fun because of some of our sponsors. And you know, we have yet to talk about, and I want to put out big props for her, Jessica from Water's Edge Photography. She was out there in the surf with, you know, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars of photographic equipment. She gets the best shots in the industry. Absolutely spectacular. And I'll tell you what, if you want something to take back to your sponsor, to tell them you appreciate their help, go see Jessica, get one of her photos, print it out nice and big, put it in the boss's office. You got sponsorship for years.
You know, I see her pictures all over the internet now, all over Facebook, different race reports, and seems like she's everywhere at every event and does a phenomenal job, as you said. Really, really nice work with the camera by Jessica Waters.
Yeah, she literally lives out of that van during the season. Want to talk about Kathy over Pro Riders Magazine. You know Kathy. We're so appreciative to have them as a sponsor again this year. And Nick and Sam out of Crash Industries. Have you seen that? Yeah. So Crash Industries. Have you seen that vehicle?
The vehicle I've seen.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see one.
What is that? That is called
it's a personal watercraft.
The Raptor. It's like an X2 designed for free riding.
No. Dominator, Exterminator.
Yeah, the Surfinator. The Waffle House. Oh, we are going back to the starting line. Sport, GP, and
the
Blaster.
Predator.
The Predator.
The Predator. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Love that name too. Crash Industries and the Predator.
The Crash.
How can you not love
the Crash Predator?
Yeah, so Blaster GP, Sport GP, you see boats out there rolling up. We just want to make it official. You guys should be coming to the line. Both, that's a combined class, Sport GP, in other words, Billy Dearman, and Blaster GP. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 riders total between the two classes. How many boats we got out there, Rick?
Well, let's go down the list. Sport GP, as you mentioned, number 111 out of Madison, Mississippi. On the Judge Motorsports, Jet Pilot, Jet Trim, Scat Track, Yamaha Blaster, Billy Dearman.
And then we're going to switch classes to Blaster GP on the number 1 machine out of Naples, Florida. Yamaha mounted, 46 years old, sponsored by Wade Chapin Performance, Judge Motorsports, Broward Motorsports, and Exotic Signs, Keith Dill.
Boat number 7 out of Pembroke Pines, Florida, riding for Broward Motorsports, Danny Ayala.
On the number 13 out of Davie, Florida, Yamaha mounted, 46 years old, sponsored by his very own Broward Motorsports, Judge Motorsports, Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, Exotic Signs, Shoei Helmets, and Works Performance, Sam Neme.
Boat number 72 out of Mims, Florida, riding for HYDROTURF, Jet Pilot, Jet Lift, and Shark, Johnny Smith.
On the double 7 out of Austin, Florida, Yamaha mounted, 46-year-old, self-sponsored, Glenn Jung.
Number 201 out of Delray Beach, Florida, riding for Riva, Mark Landis Racing, Weisco and Jet Trim. On the bullet, Christopher Landis.
On the number 296 out of Port Charlotte, Florida, Yamaha mounted, 14 years old. Sponsored by Weight, Shape, and Performance, Action Kawasaki, Abaco Glasses, and Commander Industries, and of course, Broward Motorsports, Hayden Skellett.
All right, here we go. Sport GP and Blaster GP, mostly Blaster GP right now. Johnny Smith, that ski I can hear anywhere.
God, Johnny Smith hit the go button, hit the wave just perfectly. Everybody went up in the air. He rolled over and accelerated away. Johnny Smith out in the lead.
Wow, Johnny Smith, what a hole shot. And I knew because you could hear that ski. He's got the loudest blaster on the water.
Why have a water box?
What water box?
What's that for?
What?
That's extra weight. Get rid of that. We don't
unnecessary.
Need that. Pads, we don't need those.
Unnecessary.
Wow, look at Smith. He is yarding the competition.
And that is that Sammy Niemi? Let me check. Or is that Keith Dill? Looks like number 1. That's Dill in second place.
Followed by Dearman.
Dearman in third, 77 in fourth.
Glenn Young.
So these guys are getting after it.
Boy.
And surprisingly, Sam Niemi back in the pack right now.
I was just going to say, this is going to be fun, folks. We're going to watch the leaders, of course, but watch Sam Niemi. He's third from last right now. I guarantee you he will not be there as he passes 2 other riders and 3 buoys. Gotta love it.
Yeah, Sam's charging hard on that 13 out there. Keep an eye, as Kurt said, on Sam because he is used to running up front, and we're used to seeing him up front. He must have had a bad start off that line. We didn't really catch that because we watched Johnny Smith completely annihilate everybody off the start as he pulls away right now. And man, is he looking good early on, Kurt.
He is. I'll tell you what, the older gentleman out there, Billy Dearman, starting to starting to reel in Keith Dill. Keith doing a great job. That number 1 on his boat, he was earned, believe me. And here comes Billy Dearman, triple ones.
Boy, these blasters just so popular. These guys absolutely love racing these machines.
They're great hulls.
They really are. Everybody loves them.
Look at where Sam Niemi is already.
Working his way up through the field, as you called.
Yeah, look out, Glenn Young, because Sam Niemi is knocking on your back door. Wow. Whoa. Johnny went down. Keith Dill's in the lead. Johnny Smith still down over on the far right-hand side of the course. Keith Dill inherited the lead. Now right behind him, look at this. All of a sudden, Niemi's in 4th position and pushing hard on 3rd.
Wow, what a tough break for Johnny Smith. He was just roosting everybody out there. Went down. These conditions are brutal, to say the least.
You know what they say, live by the throttle, die by the throttle.
Well, that's it. As you know, we talked to Jimmy Wilson earlier, and he said it's all about the finger. Oh, and Dill does a spectacular cartwheel. Just as we mentioned that, he came off and subbed the nose of that blaster and got cartwheeled right over the top of it. Oh my God, I've never seen anybody do that on a blaster before. That's called an endo. Oh my goodness, Johnny Smith, our race leader, went down. Here he comes down the front straightaway, back up and underway. And then Keith Dill inherits the lead, and he goes down violently off that blaster. Looks like he's okay. Boy, I'm not sure he knows which way is up right now. He did a cartwheel.
Another rider off on, and Johnny Smith
again.
Goes off again. I'll tell you what, these blaster hulls are phenomenal, but they're very unforgiving, and you get in between 2 of these waves, the power of the water, you're not going to overcome it with an internal combustion engine. It's just not going to happen.
Oh, and Sam goes back. He bobbled out there. Now he's Billy Dearman, 111 now, coming in, our race leader on that white blaster. 111, the leader, down the front straightaway, making the turn right now. And here comes Sam Nemi behind him, not far behind. Sam was way off at the start. And here comes Nemi. Wow.
Yeah, Billy Dearman, I'll tell you what, he's led a lot of races in his lifetime, and he's glad to be out front now. Clear water, relatively.
Well, I'm not sure you want to be in the lead in this race. The first two leaders it didn't end so well for them.
And this is the part of the track that's been gobbling up riders as they make the turn onto the jet trim back straightaway. Dearman with a lead, but here comes Nemi, and he's got company. Glenn Young is really hanging in there on the double 7.
One 11, the race leader coming down the front straightaway. He is going to take the white flag. 1 lap to go, but Nemi now right behind him. Here comes Sam.
Oh, Nemi goes airborne, as does Dearman. Dearman went the wrong direction on the course and then turned around. Don't know what the call's going to be on that.
I've seen that happen a few times today. I'm not even making comment because I'm not sure. So I've seen that a few times, and suffice to say, these conditions are extremely challenging for everybody. This is as good a personal watercraft racing as you're going to see.
Oh, Johnny Smith came over Keith Gill, and he flew over the back of that boat.
Our former 2 race leaders right there now battling in the back of the pack.
Neither one wants to be last.
No, they don't.
Oh, Dill up high.
Here comes Dearman. Can he hold on to it? Nemi coming behind him. Here comes Dearman and Nemi. Dearman 111 with the race lead.
Look at Glenn Young on Nemi cutting in. Oh, that was close.
Dearman looks good right now. He's no mistakes the rest of the way. Got a left-hander right there. You better make that turn. He does. He'll take the win. Billy Dearman with the lead in the win.
Nemi in second. And excuse me, that's the 296 of Hayden Skellett. It was Hayden Skellett out there in that 3rd spot. What a great job by that young man.
Wow, these young kids that are growing up fast in front of our eyes, They are so talented on these boats.
Wowie, wow, wow, wow. You know what I'm thinking?
Tell me, Kurt Nolenberg, what are you thinking? I'm scared to
this
ask.
would be a great opportunity from some freestyle. Let's get our freestyle competitors down here.
This is going to be interesting. We've had somebody that lost some sunglasses. Not the first time at a pro watercross event, I will assure you. But if you happen to come across some sunglasses on the beach, easy for me to say, if you could please bring them up to the tower, that would be appreciated. Thank you. Check that. I was wrong. Not sunglasses, eyeglasses. So regular eyeglasses. If you happen to see some, please bring them up to the tower. They are prescription, and we'd love to get those back to the rightful set of eyes.
Attention out there, believe us when we tell you we're watching the radar and there is a large system moving in. Be absolutely certain that your tents are anchored really, really well. If they're not, don't gamble. Take the top off and share with somebody else. You're going to want to make sure those things are secure. If you can look out there, you can see the weather coming. And believe me, further than we can see, it is really nasty, headed this direction. Jeff Lutker out there having some fun doing his freestyle, best freestyle action. Lutker heading back out. Jeff setting up. Boy, he sure got his choice of waves out here. No question about that. how many more races have we got? All right, for those of you that are watching on the World Wide Web, I'm sure you can see the weather that's coming at us. It's going to be here, and well, it's here now. I can feel the rain hitting us now. We're going to be shutting down the majority of the live stream.